Hey guys, hope you're all going well. Getting pumped up for today's live stream. So what we're going to be focusing on today is how to be able to get results 5 times quicker from your training than what you currently are. Okay, and that's what we're going to be focusing on. So just a bit of a note for you guys that are live stream faithfuls who are always here watching. It might be a little bit quiet over the next few days. So going out of reception, going into the country a little bit. Busselton, which is down south here in Perth, for a few days and over the weekend. So we'll try and get some live streams in here and there, but we'll see how we go with service and the old Wi-Fi. So what we're going to be focusing on today is how to be able to get results 5 times quicker from your training. This is something that's actually come up for a while with a lot of people, but I never pinpointed what the actual problem was. And that problem, which I've finally executed and found, is the speed in which you make decisions based on your training, based on your nutrition, based on your racing, based on your flexibility, based on your mindset, okay? There is a very, very big shortage in the world of implementation, okay? And there is with the internet now, a load of information, okay? So you can watch all my live streams, watch all my blog posts, read other people's blog posts, read other people's live streams, get a whole heap of information and consume a whole heap of information. You need to go to your Facebook page and find a shit ton of information. But the thing that holds people back the most is actually implementation and is actually using that and the speed in which they can get that information and actually be able to execute on it and be able to get results. And that's the biggest thing that one of the biggest things that holds a lot of riders and racers back is not implementing, not executing, not making decisions quick enough to be able to get the result, work out whether they've got a good result, whether they failed, and then being able to get that feedback and tweak again. They're spending all their time in the research phase and not enough time in the implementation phase. Now, yes, the research phase is important, but the research phase isn't important if we never execute. Okay, if we're constantly just gathering research on nutrition, gathering research on strength training, gathering research on conditioning, gathering research on a whole heap of stuff, and not actually being able to implement. Okay, so if you're looking for the perfect training program, it doesn't exist. If you're looking for the perfect nutrition plan, it doesn't exist. Okay, you will never find the perfect plan because the only way you find the perfect plan, the only way you get the thing that works for you is by executing and putting in the work. Hey, Nicole. Okay, so the most important thing is actually executing and putting in the time, putting in the effort. When you're doing so much research, I find that a lot of riders and racers get so sucked into looking at so much stuff that they confuse themselves. So they read articles from one person, they read nutrition stuff from another person, they read strength stuff from someone else, conditioning stuff from someone else, mindset stuff from someone else, and they have all these different opinions and different views of the world, and they all work. Okay, I'm sure they all work. But what you need to be able to do is actually implement. Okay, you need to pick one and go with it. Okay, so someone for strength training might say, okay, bodybuilding exercises are the go. Someone might say multi-joint exercises are the go. Someone might say gymnastics. Someone might say body weight. There's a whole heap of stuff that all works. Okay, it's going to get you some form of result. It might not be the most optimal result, but I'm sure it's going to move you a lot closer to where you want to be compared to actually not doing any work at all. And I find that a lot of riders and racers are stuck in the research phase. They're looking for the perfect program, looking for the perfect level of strength, looking for the perfect conditioning, the perfect training, the perfect plan, but they never execute. And the only way that you get feedback and you get better is from failing. Okay, and a lot of riders and racers are not into failing. They want to have the perfect program, everything mapped out that's guaranteed to be able to get the results, but they don't want to do the work to be able to find out. Okay, and that's one of the biggest problems that will hold you back forever because you're always spending a lot of time researching, collecting information. Maybe you know everything up here. Maybe you have a heap of information that you know, but you just don't do it. And when you actually don't do it, that means you don't know the information that you think you know. Okay, you might have heard of it, but you don't actually know the information because you haven't been able to apply it. You only get results from that information and it's only been used and being able to be credible and you're able to get some sort of result from it when it's implemented. Now, the biggest mistake that a lot of people make, as well as being able to just getting stuck in that research phase, is not implementing even if they think it's the wrong stuff. Okay, it's far, far, far better to implement and do the stuff that's completely wrong, complete opposite of what you need to do, than doing nothing at all. Because you know that when you've done the wrong stuff, you get a result. When you've put in all the work with your training, and let's just say you've been doing bodyweight training and you've plateaued, you know, okay, I've done my bodyweight training, I'll stop getting strong. Shit, I need to find something else, okay? Whereas if you're stuck in that research phase, you're probably still looking at bodyweight training going, oh, I need to do gymnastics, I need to do bodyweight, I need to do this, I need to do that, and being stuck in a research rut. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that research isn't important. It's important to be able to know that the stuff you're doing works, is going to help you move you closer towards your goal, is going to be efficient at being able to get you there. But really, you're never going to know until you actually do the work. And that's the bit that takes the guts. That's the bit that takes a little bit of chops, is actually getting in there and doing the work and putting it in the hard yards, okay? Getting up and eating stuff for breakfast that you don't want to eat. Eating stuff for lunch you don't want to eat. Eating stuff at dinner you don't want to eat. Cutting out all the shit foods, all the things that aren't serving you, that aren't helping you. Training. Maybe that means actually starting training because you haven't been doing it, because you've been waiting for the perfect program, for the perfect this, for the perfect that, when really you just need to get started, okay? Everyone's so scared of failing or doing the wrong stuff. They just want to do the right stuff. But the fact is, everything's wrong, okay? If you're not actually doing it, if you're not putting in the work. You need that feedback from training. You need that feedback from nutrition. You need that feedback from mindset. You need to stuff it up. You need to fuck it up the worst you've ever fucked it up before to be able to get that feedback. Otherwise, you're not going to get the feedback from the stuff you've implemented. You're not going to know what works. You're not going to know what doesn't. The fastest way to be able to learn is being able to fail. Okay, and that's something I did with riding and racing for a whole 14 years. Okay, so I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that were in a similar boat to me that tried out a whole heap of stuff, okay? And that's how long it took me. That's the purpose of having a coach, having someone to help you, is it fast tracks that learning process. Instead of you having to do the trial and error, you get something that's proven. Obviously, that takes a time commitment, it takes an effort commitment, it takes a financial commitment most of the time as well. It's an investment, okay? But that's what you need to be able to do. But most people get stuck is they don't want to spend the money. They don't want to invest in the right education. They don't want to spend the money for someone to help them because they think they know it all, but they don't want to implement either. Okay. They don't want to do the work. So they don't want to do the work. They're looking for the perfect program so that one day they can get the perfect program and finally actually take action on it, when that's never going to happen because you're never going to find that perfect program. You're never going to find the perfect information, the perfect nutrition plan. You just need to get out there and start doing. And that's something that I found looking back now in hindsight over everything I've done a whole heap of shit that didn't work with racing, but now I can tell you guys, okay, when I did club swimming and did 2 hours of swimming 4 to 5 times a week, that shit didn't work, didn't help me on the bike. When I did football training, that didn't help. When I did spin class, that didn't help. Okay, I can look back now and I know the shit that didn't work. I know the stuff that gave me a little bit of results. I know the stuff that didn't give me results. I know the stuff that made things worse. I know the stuff that makes things better. And that gives me the decisions and advice that I'm able to give now because I've been there and I've done it and I've implemented. And we need to get more of those people, okay? We need to shift more to the implementation phase. And that's something I've been stuck in as well. I went through periods of time where I was just stuck in the research, reading the books, okay? Going on online, looking at all the other websites, all the other trainers, the guys that train coach, looking what Alden Baker was doing and all the other top guys, seeing what Ryan Dungey posted on his Facebook and his Instagram and whoever else was out there, okay? But never actually implemented, okay? I had a gym membership, but I didn't use it to its full potential because I spent most of my time researching, waiting for the perfect time to be able to find the perfect information to give me the perfect result because I didn't want to waste my time. When really I was wasting my time by just doing all this research and not actually doing enough work, okay? I would have learned a shitload more, a shit ton quicker in a lot less than 14 years if I just got out there and just did the work and just did something and kept track of what I was doing and went, okay, swimming didn't work, cycling didn't work, this didn't work, this worked. Maybe I did some strength training, that worked. Maybe I did this stuff, it didn't work. By being able to get that feedback, you develop what works and what doesn't, okay? And that's the whole purpose of obviously what I do and what we do with our programs is being able to short track that process so you don't need to spend 14 years guessing and trying to be a strength and conditioning coach and trying to learn stuff that you may not be interested in, just being able to do the work and get the results. But you still have to implement. Whether you're paying me money, whether you're paying someone else money, whether you're getting a free program off the internet, whatever it is, you still have to implement. Okay, you still have to do the work. You still have to get in there and take that information and get it done. And that's what most people are lacking. That's what most riders and racers are lacking is the implementation phase. They're looking for the perfect program and the perfect program doesn't exist. So you're going to be looking until you're dead. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. Implementation. If you take anything away from this live stream, if you haven't taken it away already, implement, get the work done. Just do something, okay? Even if you're not doing the right stuff, if you need help, hit me up. Hit up whoever's in your area that's able to help you. Hit up someone that has more knowledge that's able to help you with your nutrition, your training, that's able to move you closer towards where you want to be, okay? But none of that stuff is going to work unless you don't implement. You need to execute on it, okay? So one thing I want you to work on, implementation, get it done. Stop reading, stop researching, stop watching all my live streams and not taking action. Actually get the work done, okay? That's what I want you to focus on. So remember, guys, train hard, race harder. See you guys.